My name's Nick Hook. I come from St. Louis, Missouri. I've lived in New York City for 16 years. I'm a producer, I'm a DJ, I'm an engineer, I'm a collaborator, I'm an explorer, and I'm in Saigon, Vietnam right now for the first time.
So when would you start playing hip hop and music?
Like playing it on the speakers, listening to it, or actually creating it?
Maybe like the first day you listen to it and you want to play it.
Well, I grew up basically in the Midwest, a very black-white city, and my school had a desegregation program which bussed out kids from the inner city to come to school in a middle-class district. So from a young age, half my school was black kids and half my school was white kids, and so we started listening, like we would listen to music in second and third grade, and the kids from the city would bring NWA, Ice-T, and so I always, and see, also I listened to rock music growing up, Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, and yeah, like that was my generation, and then Dr. Dre, The Chronic came out, and so as I was growing up, I watched all this music start to fuse together, and I grew up playing guitar, and then eventually this DJ from the radio gave me I was recording on 4 tracks and like real instruments and stuff, and this radio DJ gave me a CD once with Reason, Fruity Loops, Acid, all these all these electronic programs coming out for the first time. And so I popped them in my computer, and I for the first time I could make beats that had subs and that had, hip hop shit. And so basically I've been doing this since, every day, every minute of every day of my life since I was like 14. And here I am, and it's just, that energy, and I think for me it's the world's becoming one place, to see that you guys love something that we grew up on, and that I could share that energy from home into it fuels me to really, and I honor it every day, and it's brought me to crazy places to work with crazy people. And
I saw your studio.
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing to me. So, we want to know, what is the first thing you buy when you start your studio?
Well, see, for me, when I think of my studio, it started in St. Louis with a PC computer and a MIDI keyboard, and it's grown. My studio's grown piece by piece into this. Now it's one big. The way I have it now, it's one big living organism. I look at it as one instrument. But now, if I had it over, what I would tell people: first invest in good speakers, and then invest in treating your room, because if you don't hear the music right, when you take it outside the room, it doesn't sound the way you. So, because when you make albums or collaborate with people, you get to see their home studio or and I love seeing how everyone does it, because you can, that's so sick. Let me take a piece of that. That sound
For you, what is the hardest thing in the music dance industry?
Well, I would say sometimes just to you're given this pressure to keep up with people, of we're in this fast release music phase. So if you want to really, really, really do this, you got to really, really, really do this. And I think learning that sometimes you can't do things, or learning what it takes for you to get to that ultimate place, and never ever compromising from that, because everyone else is going to think you're out of your mind, but you're only speaking from your inner self. And I think that my struggle growing up was no, but I'm not really like everyone else. I know that so well by now, and everyone trying to tell you that it's too hard, everyone, that chatter gets in your mind, but you have to learn to shut that out, because we're all in this room for the same reason, because there's something makes us love this and want to do this and stuff,
Can you tell us the experiment, why collaboration with the XIII Savage?
Oh yeah. This was maybe 2014, I would say. Yeah, 2014. And see, the cool thing about my studio is we can make as much noise in there as we want 24 hours a day. And I guess at this point in my career, anyone knows they could call me at any time. So my friend Key, she worked at 10 Deep. She was like, cause I had worked with Young Thug the year before, and I got a call one night. You know the rapper Key?
Key?
Yeah, see, my homegirl asked if Key could come over, who was at the time the biggest guy, and then there was another guy called Man Savage, who was this. Cause in rap it's like, you wait your turn. Like if you're the little guy, you kind of just let your boys rap. And so 21 Savage was the littlest one at that time. And it was like 5, 6 in the morning, and like the other guys had done some verses, and he wanted to rap really bad. And he was just seemed like a magical character. And so I looped up a little beat, and he got on the mic, and we spit that, like, you know, 1 take type shit, maybe 2 takes. And then I ended up I actually forgot we recorded it, and I had a dream one night that like it existed, and I like went deep inside my computer, and then I went and we flipped the music, and I went and worked with my dudes called Bulletproof Dolphin, and they're from Detroit, and they like Skywalker's Danny Brown's DJ, and my whole album that I made was like kind of a story of my life in that year, and so I wanted to incorporate like everyone I'd been around. So that was a really like, because sometimes these things are like you can't plan these things. It's like lightning strikes, and like you're just lucky to be there. And like that was one of those moments. And then just like he had like 400 followers when we met. Like, you know what I mean? Like to see someone, it's amazing to see someone that wanted to rap so bad ascend to like the furthest degree of like, I mean, he got a Grammy, dog. 21 Savage, like that's the most like, that means we all have a chance out here. And like, you know, and I feel lucky because my career path, I usually come across the young ones rising, and like that's such a great place because the music business, it hasn't poisoned you yet, or like you haven't been through this, like, because once you start doing it, it's like the business comes, it's a different thing. And before you've hit in that, it's, you know, you've been waiting for that your whole life, so you're holding it in, and then that's why all these like first songs, they travel so far, because someone's always waited their whole life to like bang that energy out. You know what I mean?
Do you smoke weed?
Yeah, I smoked weed about 4 seconds before the cameras were turned on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a little weed after this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all right then. Yeah, well, I could tell you how I started smoking weed.
Okay, sure.
So I never really smoked my whole life. I got sad and wanted to lay under a blanket and like listen to Outkast till it went away.
Oh, okay.
And then about 4 years ago, I was in, you know, people come use my studio, and I just engineer. So we had Action Bronson's made all his albums in my studio, finished most of them. And so him and The Alchemist were in every day, and like, you know, these guys smoke more weed than like almost anyone in the world. And so I just started wondering what their brain was like, and I ended up, like, the new weed's so powerful and strong now, so it was like different than when I started smoking weed. So here yo, it's Nick Hook. It's been fun sitting with Fungi and 30 Radio. We out here in Saigon, aka Ho Chi Minh. Shout out to the motherfucking world. Shout out everyone doing this hard every day. Keep working hard. Stay up.
in the air now. They gon' play around. We gon' go to magic. Oh, I'ma let her have it. Gucci's on. You know I keep the Gucci's on. You know I got the Gucci's on. Hit it when the Gucci's on. Gucci's on. You know I keep the Gucci's on. You know I got the Gucci's on. Hit it when the Gucci's on. Is it cool to come through and I won't stay tonight? Stay tonight. You know I'm getting to the bank, I gotta play tonight. Play tonight. I'm in a new whip and I'm driving foolish. Foolish. I'm in a new whip and I'm driving foolish. Foolish. Gucci's on. You know I keep the Gucci's on. You know I got the Gucci's on. Hit it when the Gucci's on. You know I got the Gucci's on. You know I keep the Gucci's on. You know I got the Gucci's on. Hit it when the Gucci's on. You know I got the Gucci's on. Ride with me, so she getting high with me. High with me. She hit the dance floor and she getting wild with me. Wild with me. New bracelet, she know she wanna smile with me. She said, "Tony, what you doing? Baby, I be moving. Can you keep up with the movement? You know that I'm not losing." She said, "Tony, what you doing?" I said, "Baby, I be moving. Can you keep up with the movement? Can you keep up with the movement?" Gucci's on. You know I keep the Gucci's on.
this shit. Got me looking through the peephole. I'm about to sweep you on your asshole. Sweet. If you come into my door with no money, you can leave. Yeah, you know how we do it, yo. Rap it. I don't wanna hear the small talk. No. I don't care about your jibber jabber. No. You just wanna eat the appetizer. I be coming for the whole platter. I be coming for the whole platter. I be coming for the whole platter. I don't know what they talk about. None. But that shit don't really matter. It do not really be mattering. Big time I'm going to get it. My thug getting good. Riding no leather, I'm ripping it wood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood.
It do not really be mattering. Bitch, I'ma go in and get it. My thug getting good. Ride no leather, I'm gripping it wood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood.
Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Keeping it sexy, keeping it hood. Big houses, fast cars, money.